it's never been easier to sell real estate now. Because if you think back 20 years ago, even 10 years, maybe not 10 years ago, but 10, 15 years ago, my mom had to drive the paperwork to get it signed, right? Now we just send an email through Dotloop or DocuSign, whatever it is. So, I think as we progress with technology, I think it's just going to become easier to sell real estate. Now, I wouldn't say easier, but maybe simpler. Easy and simple are two different things. Yeah. So, maybe it's just going to become more simpler and it's going to help us do our jobs better.
I used to chase the ROI all the time, return on investment. And over the course of time, that has evolved into what I call return on life.
Hello, everyone. This is Randy Dyck on the amazing podcast, Return on Life. It's not about the ROI, but it's about the return on life. And so much of our time we chase the ROI. But what about the return on life? And today I've got an amazing guest, Kail Walker, just an absolute star in the game of real estate, but he's done so many amazing things that we're going to learn about today, about mindset, performance, and how he became such a super successful agent. So welcome here, Kail. And maybe you want to share a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what line of real estate are you in?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on, Randy. It's a pleasure. Like you said, my name is Kail Walker. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. Been a realtor for 4 years, and I grew up around the business with my mom, who's been an agent for 25 years. A really good agent. I have an amazing mentor, and so that's how I kind of got into the business. Was just going to showings with my mom as I was growing up, and hanging out in the office with my sister while she did her thing. And at the time, I had no idea what she was doing, but looking back on it, I'm so grateful for everything she did for us. So that's how I got into the game, and now we work together, and we have a small team. And I'm a very big mama's boy. So we have a great working relationship, and it couldn't be better. So
right on. So when you say a team, it's is your mother, what's your mother's name, by the way?
Her name is Dee Oliver.
Dee. Is Dee the team lead, or are you the team lead, or is there somebody else? And how many agents do you have on your team?
Yeah, that's a good question. We're not your typical team. By default, my mom is the team leader. However, there's 3 of us who started the team. It's obviously my mom, myself, and then my business partner, Keaton, who's also my best friend. And so we started the team together, more so not to, hire a bunch of agents and take part of their commission, things like that. We're just kind of using it to work together, because one of our sayings is when you work with one of us, you work with all of us, and we all market each other's listings and help out when one of us is gone out of town. Keaton's been gone all week, so we've been helping out with his clients. So it's really just a support team is really what it is in marketing. So there's 3 of us who started it, and then we have an assistant, and then we have one more agent, Lindsay, who's a newer realtor, about 2-3 years in the business now, and we kind of been taking her under our wing and just helping each other out. So that's kind of our team structure and our team setup.
Fantastic. You've won many amazing awards, and I'm just going through the awards here. A #1 ranked real estate agent on social media, top 10 real estate agents to look out for from Yahoo Finance. Omaha Real Producer Magazine featured in that. But this one, the National Association of Realtors 30 Under 30, we're going to get into that. But maybe before we even do that is, tell me a little bit about your background and how your background has made you so successful in real estate, because, without a past, there's no present. And so I'm when I look at a successful agent, there's usually, signs or there's clues of success before the success in real estate happens. So maybe share a little bit about that, and then share how you became a stud on NAR 30 Under 30.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So, yeah, as far as I can remember, I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. The neighborhood that I grew up in, we lived near a golf course, and I remember that there was a ravine where when the golfers would hit a bad shot, All the golf balls would pile up there. No one wanted to get, me too. And no one wanted to go get those golf balls. So my sister and I, we would go and collect all of those golf balls. And then we would sit up at the second hole, at the top of the hole, and we would sell the golf balls that we found to the golfers that would be driving by and walking by. So, I've always had that go-getter mentality. And then of course it translated into sports. I was an athlete, played football in all 4 years, in college as well. Throughout my college career, I dabbled in different, different sort of entrepreneurial, MLM marketing, things like that. Just how can I be successful? And so I've always had that mentality. I've just always wanted to be successful, whether it was sports or, making some money. So as it progressed into real estate, I developed a passion for it, and a passion for helping clients and helping people, and being able to put myself in a position where I could succeed and help my family, my future family. I don't have any kids. I'm not married yet, but I'm setting myself up for when I do have those things. And as far as 30 under 30 goes, I remember it was my second year in real estate, and I didn't really know about the NAR 30 under 30, but I saw that there was another agent in my market who ran for that. And she got pretty close. She actually did win it in 2023. Congrats to her. But I saw that she was winning, or that she was going for it. And I said, well, that is an amazing goal that I should go after as well. I mean, why not? And I remember I had a realtor magazine. I cut out Realtor 30 under 30, and I put it on my office, my vision board. And I looked at it every single day. And then after that, it was about taking action to accomplish that goal. And, one thing that they really look for is not only sales and, how much volume you're doing and things of that nature, but what are you doing in the community? What are you doing to help other people? And I started a networking company here in Omaha right when I got into real estate, where I just wanted to help other entrepreneurs. I wanted to help the city of Omaha. Here, shameless plug, I love Omaha, Nebraska. It's a very underrated city. Yes, Nebraska as a whole, it's a farmer state, right? But Omaha, people don't realize there's 1 million people in this city. It's a big city. It's not just a flyover city. And so I wanted to create something that, number one, helped other entrepreneurs in my city, but also help put my city on the map. So that was one big driving force to me winning National Association of Realtors 30 under 30. So I encourage anyone, if you're interested in winning that award, figure out how you can be a part of your community and help other people on top of, helping your clients out. That's another big factor for them. So that's the long answer. That's kind of everything. Hopefully I answered your question in what you asked me.
Very well. But you've made me ask another question here. Networking and helping other entrepreneurs. Like, not only is real estate a challenge, but now you're building something else beyond that. Now, I'm sure that has helped your real estate business too. When you're a student first, then you can be a teacher, and just building something like that, it's probably been pretty amazing. But what do you help other entrepreneurs do? Like what happens in this networking session with other entrepreneurs?
Yeah, so our networking events, we haven't had one for a while. We've been kind of trying to transition our business and grow it in a different way. But our networking events are to, just connect the top entrepreneurs in our city, right? I mean, it's respectfully not open to the public. It's very selective in who we want to come to our events. We've all heard the saying, you are who you surround yourself with. You're like the 5 people you spend the most time with. So we wanted the hustlers, the go-getters, the people that are striving for greatness, the people that are just good human beings at our events. They're very fun. Our events are not, here's my business card. I hope you call me. They're just not boring. That's one reason why I started Rise Omaha was what I call my networking event. Was because, and let me go back, it was me and my business partner, Keaton, who's also on my team. We started that together. We wanted something different. We wanted something that was fun, that was exciting because, and I'm sure, Randy, you can attest to this, but networking events, a lot of them are just kind of stuffy. They feel like a chore, and you don't really, it's like a chore, right? Like, you have to do it, but you don't want to do it. So we wanted something that you look forward to coming back to. So our events are they're high class. I mean, everyone's dressed like you. You look great, Randy. Suited up. Women are in nice dresses and things of that nature. And we have a red carpet. So when you walk in, you feel like a celebrity, right? Because you got to feel like success to get it. They're just very, very fun. We have guest speakers. We had a musical performance at one. So that's kind of the gist of our networking events.
I love it. I love it. That is so cool. And you probably do a lot of business because of it as well.
Yeah, of course. It's really helped my brand grow, and it's helped me, get my face in front of more people.
Right on. Hey, so you've had a long career of many different things. And I think of 4 years in college playing football. I must have had an injury or two. Crucible moments in our lives are really what shapes and forms who we are. I've got a few of those myself, but what are some of them that you've encountered? Difficult situations. Oh, how am I going to come back from that? Or how are those moments helped you get to where you are today?
Yeah, great question. I think the biggest the biggest thing that ever happened in my life was really nothing that had to do with sports. I was actually very grateful that I didn't suffer any serious injuries. I might have missed a couple games throughout my 4-year career. However, it was really after college that I had some things that happened in my life that changed my mindset and shaped and molded me into the person that I am today. I had a very I lost a best friend and a girlfriend. They didn't die or anything, but they ended up together. And as you can, and it really it spiraled me into a deep, dark depression. I was very, very depressed. I was, and this was right after college. They ended up together, and it took my life down a bad rabbit hole, and I had to pull myself out of that. It took me a full 2 years to really overcome that traumatic experience, but I'm so grateful that it did happen the way it did, because the person that I was prior was not the person that I was destined to be. And it was actually probably going to cause my life to go in a different direction, not a good one. So like I said, everything happens for a reason, that. And I'm so grateful that it happened the way it did. And those two, they're actually still together to this day. So it was probably destined to be. And there's no errors in what God does. So that's, I really, if I didn't have that situation happen to me, I would 100% not be where I'm at today. I needed that.
That right there is return on life.
Amen.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. And we all know that there's a spirit world, a higher being that's in all things. So I love that. Hey, influencers in your life, is there anybody that just come to your mind immediately that are great influencers in your life? They might be paid. They might have just come alongside. Who would they be? And I'm probably going to hear your mom, but anybody else that comes to your mind?
I'm a really big advocate for a guy named Andy Frisella. Don't know if you ever heard of him or not. Yeah, he is somebody that you should definitely look up to. He's not a real estate guy. He's just a really successful entrepreneur who started with nothing, and now he's Now he helps other people. He has a podcast just like you. But other than that, yeah, I mean, my mom is, anytime I get that question, my mom is number one. I mean, she, was a single mom for most of my life. And, with me and my sister, I'm 30. My sister is 29 or going to be 29 in a couple weeks. And I just remember her sacrificing everything to be successful for her kids. She was a nurse when I was a little boy, and I remember I don't remember, but when I was 5, she left being a nurse to get into real estate so she could spend more time with her kids, so she could be there for her kids and just give us a better life. So she sacrificed everything for us, and there's no better person than my mom that I look up to.
Wow. Yeah, we have so much to be thankful for our parents that brought us into this world and then gave us great mentorship. So that is fantastic. Anything that's maybe limited, limited your success that you go, I know that that's limiting me and I have to change that. Is there anything that just comes to your mind?
It's just, it was just doing what I needed to do. Right. I mean, we all have things that we don't want to do. And especially as men, we just have to do it anyway. We have to do it when we're not feeling like doing it, whether it's getting up and going to the gym at 5, 6 in the morning because you're busy with clients all afternoon. Yeah, I don't want to get up in the middle of winter in Nebraska and at 5 in the morning to go to the gym, but I do it because I have to, right? Because no one's out here that's going to save me. It's up to me. My success is up to me. So, it took me a while to learn that mindset that I have to do what I have to do. And if I do it now, then I can do what I want to do later, So it was really getting over that mindset of not necessarily doing what I feel like doing, but doing what I have to do. And that's a big driving force for me.
Right on. I am a morning person. I'm up at 5. That's when I go to the gym. That's the only time that nobody seems to miss me, so I can fit it in.
Yep.
But tell me about your schedule. What is a day in the life of Kail look like?
That's a great question. My schedule is my schedule, and I am very disciplined with my schedule. I do have I work out 6 days a week. Most of the time it's in the morning. I'm up at 5, just like you. I go to the gym at 6. And then a couple other days, like on Tuesdays, it's in my schedule. 2:30 in the afternoon, I'm going to the gym. I have an appointment. No appointments are scheduled during that day. And then on Saturdays, I go later in the afternoon after I'm done with clients. I still do enjoy. And I'm not a big morning person, but I choose to be because I have to be. Again, it goes back to not doing what I want to do and doing what I have to do. So the other days I'm working out in the morning. We'll just go through a Monday or a Wednesday today. I am up at 5, go to the gym at 6. I come back home about 8 o'clock, shower, make breakfast, 8:45, 9. I'm right here in my desk prospecting. 9 to 12, I am prospecting. Whether that's creating social media content or, reaching out to my sphere, going through my CRM, following up with leads, things of that nature. It's prospecting time, 9 to 12. My phone's on do not disturb. You can't get a hold of me because I'm not going to get distracted. And then 12 on after that, I reserve it for meetings like this or clients, showings of that nature, things like that. So yeah, from actually 12 to 12:30 is lunchtime. Can't forget about that. And then 1 to 7, 8 o'clock is all client time, meeting time, and whatever else. Maybe I'll go out and go look at a house and tour a house and create some content, whatever I want to do. That's 1 to 8 is my client time. So.
Well, you've just described every successful agent's schedule, or very similar successful agent schedule, and so there's madness to the method, or method to the madness, so to speak. Yep. And discipline is so important. So you're gonna love the discipline of it, the boredom of the discipline to get it done. So just love that. Okay, along the way, we all have some fears. Along the way, we either make fear our friend, our foe, or our motivator.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any moments that you can share, or maybe just, hey, fear has become my friend or it's my motivator? Anything you want to share on fear?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember when I was transitioning into real estate. This was 2018. I was at my job and I loved my job. I really did love it. I was working at a healthy food store. So we made meals that are healthy, clean, and you could walk in our store, pick them up and go. And I loved it. I really did love it. I was a manager. I was living down in Kansas City, Missouri. I was managing a couple stores down there. And, I was as much as I loved it, I knew it wasn't my end goal. I knew that. But I was just waiting for the right opportunity. Now I had a salary, I was in control pretty much of my schedule and things of that nature. And I just remember, thinking like, what if this doesn't work out, right? Like and I remember I was moving from Kansas City back to Omaha to get into real estate. And it was a terrifying, situation to leave a salary job. As you know, we only make money if we sell houses. So having that support and that stability of a salary was refreshing and comforting. But everything you want is on the other side of fear, right? We've all heard that saying. And if I didn't leave that job, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. No question. Who knows where I would be. So, sometimes you got to take a risk, and, sometimes the risk is going to succeed and sometimes it might not, but you never know until you try. So I'm very grateful that I overcame that fear and made the leap into real estate.
Yeah, I love that quote. Everything on the other side of fear is what you want. Amazing.
Exactly.
Love that. Love that. So speaking of gifts, let's speak a bit about gifts. God gives us all gifts. Some of us get a few more than others. God only gave me a couple gifts. What are some of the gifts that you have been given, and how have you used them in your business?
Good question. I've always been a hard worker. I've always believed that you got to put in the work.
Your body tells me you have discipline and a hard work. I looked on your Instagram, like, holy cow, you've got some work there. You
know what, Randy? If I see someone in physically good shape, and I learned this from my guy Andy Frisella that I told you about, if I see someone in really good shape, that's someone that I might consider doing business with. If they have the discipline to go to the gym consistently, eat right, consistently drink enough water, and take care of themselves, that is someone that you should highly consider going into business with, or doing, having a friendship with, because they have the ability to push you to be better. And, so I just think that's really important, because, it's not easy to go to the gym every day and as eat right and things of that. So, going back to your question, I just think it's one of my biggest attributes is just I know how to work, and I will put in the work to do it. I remember when I first got into real estate. That's the one thing about real estate that I think a lot of people don't understand. It's all about how much work you put into it. You're going to get out in real estate what you put in. And I knew that. And for my first 2 years in the business, I probably took a handful of days off. I worked 7 days a week, 10, 12 hours a day, not only because I loved it, but because I knew that's what it took to be successful and to get me to where I want to go. So now I'm to the point where I can take off a Sunday if I want to, and because I put in that work in the beginning. So again, to answer your question, I love the hard work. I know it's a part of the process, and not many agents will work harder than me. That's for sure. Respectfully.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you on that. Input equals output.
Yep.
And the newer the agent that you are, the more you have to put into it. At some point, the boulder, the real estate boulder just starts rolling on its own. And you just have to give it a kick every once in a while. But that is after years and years of leaning into it and pushing it. So I really appreciate that answer. And a lot of agents do not get that. Do not get that. So speaking of agents, what do you think is the future of the real estate agent? So I'll let you think about that a little bit. But the future is changing so quickly with Chat GTP and all the things that are coming at us. What do you think? What do you think? Are we going to have more agents, less agents, more teams? How is all of this AI going to affect us as agents?
For anybody watching, I follow another real estate coach, and that's probably another person that I could have mentioned earlier. His name is Ricky Carruth. I love
Ricky.
You know Ricky? Yep.
I know Ricky.
And I love his mentality that business is unlimited, right? You have to have that abundance mindset that no matter how many agents there are, no matter, what robots come in, business is unlimited. And he also believes that the real estate transaction is so, you need a human connection. If it's me, I don't want a robot handling my transaction of the biggest asset that I have. That sounds absolutely ludicrous to me. So for me personally, I really believe that no matter what technology comes into play, human interaction in a real estate transaction will always be needed. And I just don't see that changing. That's my personal opinion on it. So, and I don't worry about the future when it comes to that. I actually use ChatGPT for my listing descriptions, and it's phenomenal. If you haven't done that yet, you need to. So, I think it's going to be a tool for us to be successful. And and if you think back, Randy, and I don't know how long you've been in the business. But, my mom's been in 25 years. It's never been easier to sell real estate now, because if you think back 20 years ago, even 10 years, maybe not 10 years ago, but 10, 15 years ago, my mom had to drive the paperwork to get it signed, right? Now we just send an email to .loop or DocuSign, whatever it is. So, I think as we progress with technology, I think it's just going to become easier to sell real estate. Now, I wouldn't say easier, but maybe simpler. Easy and simple are two different things. Yeah. So, maybe it's just going to become more simpler, and it's going to help us do our jobs better. Because like I said, I have ChatGPT writing my listing descriptions, and instead of me spending 30 minutes on it, I spend 5 minutes on it. Like, now I get more time back to go do other things, go prospect, go create content, whatever it is, if that makes sense. So,
yeah. Oh, I think there's so many things that are going to make it easier, but we still need to be face-to-face, belly-to-belly, doing deals. I just recently interviewed a billionaire, Glenn Sanford, the founder of EXP. And wow. I asked him the same question. I said, what's the future of real estate and the real estate agent? And he says, well, I think the future is that not only will we be using AI, but our buyers and sellers will be using AI, and our AIs will be talking to one another till they get us closer, and then it's up to us. So I thought that was a really good response from Glenn. Well, who's the best in the world that you know? Is there somebody that you go, man, if I could be like that agent, who is it? Maybe it's your mom. Props to you.
She's gotten me to where I am today. So she's definitely up there for sure. And like I said, I love my mom. I love Ricky Carruth. I follow Ryan Serhant, they're even my brokers are amazing real estate agents as well. So honestly, between my mom and Ricky Carruth, he's probably the number one real estate influencer that I follow. I just love what he's all about, and all his coaching is free. So any realtors on here that see this and you're not following Ricky Carruth, you 100% need to. He's got a very optimistic point of view when it comes to the real estate market. And, pretty much everything that he talks about, I mean, you can go back and he'll post a video about, hey, I said this a year ago and here we are. So, he's probably my favorite one besides my mom.
He brings it. There's no doubt about it. I'm actually see Ricky here in about 3 weeks. So I'll say hi from Kail to him.
Yes, please do.
Awesome. Any big ideas or things that you think, man, maybe I should incorporate this into my real estate business? I know you've got some great ideas. The entrepreneurial networking, I think, is fantastic. Anything else that you'd like to share with our audience that you think is a bit of a game changer or could be a game changer?
Well, I mean, again, I think things like ChatGPT are something that you need to incorporate. I mean, not only are they writing my listing descriptions, but they're helping me write so I have a weekly email, just like Ricky Carruth does. He sends a weekly email every Wednesday. He doesn't miss it. I do every other week. But I mean, I have them writing my emails for me as well. So I just think utilizing tools of that quite frankly, these AI, the chat GPTs, they're making me sound a lot more professional as well. So because writing has never been my thing. But I just think as these tools begin to be available to us, it's something that we should start to use and incorporate it in our business. Because if you're not, the next agent is, and it might take you them maybe a little bit ahead of you if you're falling behind the wagon. I've been trying to get my mom to be on social media, but she's just so very old school, and quite frankly, she doesn't really even need it. She's been a realtor 25 years. Her business just, like you said, the boulder just keeps coming as you get more and more into the business, but anyway, so I think that's my answer for that.
Well, you tell your mom that I've been around for 32 years selling real estate, and you do need social media to make sure you keep filling that hopper. So I'd encourage her to jump on. But, there's two things that we're gifted as children. And we talked about gifts already, but these are two that every child gets: curiosity and imagination. And it seems like over time, we start turning off these two amazing gifts that we're given. We get less curious about life, less curious about what makes things work and what doesn't make it work. And our imagination starts to shut down. I don't know about you, Kail, but every day I was going to be somebody new. I was going to be an astronaut one day, a cowboy the next, a doctor the next. And so our imaginations are so powerful. Do you still have the inner child, the curiosity and the imagination to make your world spin?
Of course, absolutely. It's funny that you talk about imagination as a child, because I throughout college in the summers, I worked at a daycare for 4 years, and I worked with elementary school kids, right? The fun age where all we did was play kickball and play games. And every time I get asked about it, I always say I just really admire and appreciate the imagination of children. The things that they think about is just incredible, right? And they're so carefree. And, our minds are so powerful. Our brains are so powerful. Our brain does not know the difference between what's real and what's fake. So if you can imagine your mind or your life in your mind and vividly picture it in your mind, your brain has no difference between if it's real or it's fake. And the more you think about that, the more it's gonna the better chance it's gonna come into your life. It will. If you continue to think about it every day, you write it down, you speak it out loud, whatever it is, it will literally come into your life. But the one thing that people forget is you got to put in the work to get it. You can't just pray for something and imagine something and hope it comes. You got to, again, what you put in, you get out. So if you can imagine it, see it, believe it, think it, then you go put in the work, it's literally going to be yours. So I'm huge on the imagination, visualization, all that stuff. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. I know you've got a vision board, but there's no more incredible vision board than what's here.
Bingo.
This, I can take a picture of a beautiful sunset like that's behind me right now, and I look at it on my phone or in a picture, and it's okay. But what I saw in real time never can never be placed on that photo. So
Right.
love that. By the way, I'm working on a book, Childhood Business Decisions That You Make.
Mm.
So I'm really excited about it because everything as a child, it's unfiltered. It's just natural. It's easy. And there's just so many life lessons that we can take as a child and put it into business. So I'm really excited about getting that book on the shelf. Hey, as we close out, this has been an amazing, amazing time with you, Kail. I want to do a little bit of a speed round here. So we'll just run through some questions here and see where it goes. So, Kail, what do you do? What do you do to let your hair down and just have some fun?
You know what? I am such a homebody. Like, I don't really do a whole lot. Peace for me is just honestly being at home in my space. I love my space. I love my home. I love home decor and design. And I want a place to come home and relax. Honestly, I have no better joy at the end of the day when I come home. I got a good plate of food in front of me, and I got a good TV show on, and I'm just relaxing. That's peace for me, man.
Right on. You're booking a holiday. Is it museums, beaches, or events?
Beach all day long.
I love it. I'm with you there on beaches. Favorite band?
Band? I don't necessarily have a favorite band. However, my favorite artist is Drake. I don't know if you know who Drake is.
I know Drake.
He's my favorite.
I've got a friend that's a friend of his, so I've got 1 degree separation. So maybe one day we'll connect Drake. How's that?
Love that. Maybe I can sell some real estate to him.
Yeah. Text, phone call, or face-to-face?
I'm not a big texter because I text all day long. I'm on my phone all day long with clients. You know how it is, talking to lenders and inspectors and the other agent. I'd rather just see someone face to face.
Awesome. Hey, one thing that I've been having great success is instead of just texting, I just do a video text. So I do a quick video and then I text that. That's been really, really awesome. How about audio or book?
You know, I might throw you for a loop on this one, but I'm not a big reader. The way I learn information is number one, through experience, but I would also rather watch it. I would rather watch a video podcast than like read a book or anything like that. I would rather turn on a YouTube. Like for instance, a few nights a week when I'm at the end of the day, when I'm eating my nice dinner, I will turn on a educative podcast and watch it on my TV. I prefer that.
Okay, dinner's come up a couple of times here, Kail. What is on Kail's dinner plate?
Oh man, it's never the same. You know, as much as I stick to a pretty routine diet, I'm all about like a 70-30, like healthy 70%, 30% of the time I'm gonna enjoy my life and be a human being. I eat pretty clean for the most part, but I do enjoy some Domino's and we have a restaurant called Runza here. It's a fast food. Yeah, it's way nicer than McDonald's, but so it just really depends, man. I got a whole fridge full of stuff.
Awesome. Okay. Last question on the Return to Life podcast with Kail here. If you were a scratch and sniff sticker, and we scratch that sticker, what would be the smell of Kail? Strawberries.
I like all things strawberry. Strawberry cake, strawberry drinks, strawberry candy, whatever it is.
I'm going to add to that strawberries in a pina colada because a pina colada means we're at the beach.
Strawberry margaritas, you name it.
Strawberry margarita, you betcha. Kail, thank you so much for joining me on the Return on Life podcast. You've been an amazing guest, and I've got so many great takeaways that I highlighted and jotted down. Like you meet somebody and you size them up. Are they in shape? Are these people worth doing business with? Are they disciplined in the gym, in their eating habits? So I love that one. And you talk about fear. Everything's on the other side of fear that you want. I love that one as well. And I love Rise Omaha. So what a great, great time interviewing you, Kail. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. This is amazing.
Right on. Take care, Kail.
You too. Bye-bye.